What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. 3-game Wnba Thursday night slate. $20,000 to first. Absolutely love these consistent big prize pools. I'm expecting once the NBA season is over, we're going to get a lot of 20K to first with a sprinkle of 25K to first every now and then. Just really happy with the growth of the game this season. Really happy with Draftkings. I wish they would fix their scoring system. That is my only gripe. It is so delayed. I don't know why. It was fine at the start of the year and now it's super delayed, but just a small gripe. Otherwise, I'm very happy with everything that they're doing. Really happy to see big money to first on a consistent level, and hope we can keep it up for the whole season. But let's look at the odds for these 3 games and then we'll start breaking them down team by team. Dream at the Fever, 3.5 point spread, over under 161.5. Storm at the Wings, 7 point spread, over under 162. Aces at the Mercury, 6.5 point spread, over under 168.5. There's a couple I like here. I like Dallas. They've had plenty of rest, +7 at home. I think that's a little wide in my opinion. Also, the Aces can't stop anybody. I don't know why the Mercury are 6.5 point dogs at home. I think the Aces should win this game, but I think 6.5 is a little wide in my opinion. But starting with the first game of the night, Atlanta and Indiana. On the Atlanta side, Ryan Howard, always mention her, great play for tournaments. Only played 30 minutes, but did lose 4 to 5 minutes in the fourth quarter due to the blowout. Let's see, just so I'm not lying, let's see exactly how much. She lost, well, only 3 minutes, so she should have been sitting around 33, 34 minutes. Big scoring upside if she's going to shoot the ball. She has been really passive of late, not shooting it near as much as she should. With that being said, I absolutely love this spot for her. Indiana is not a good basketball team. They do not want to play defense whatsoever. They don't act like they care to play defense. The only problem is they don't have the superstars like the Aces do to punish people for not playing defense. Perfectly fine as a contrarian spin up. Big tournament upside. Tina Charles, 9,200. Fantastic start to the game. First half against Washington. Absolutely disappeared after that. She had like 10 points and 9 rebounds at half. And, I mean, hooked her point prop. I don't know. I don't know where she went in the second half. Big scoring upside. If she's scoring, if she's grabbing boards, she can put up a big score. No issues for her for tournaments. Alicia Gray actually pitched in the peripherals here. 10 peripheral stats, only 9 real-life points. She's been pretty scoring dependent to start the season, so just got to know that with her. She's really hard to trust, but at 8,100, the price keeps going down. I mentioned it with Ryan Howard. The matchup is good, so don't mind her for tournaments. Cheyenne Parker, 18 minutes. Good God. 18 minutes and 4 fantasy points. You just can't trust her. Like, she's just not been good. The Tina Charles, Cheyenne Parker experiment of both of them on the floor at the same time, it just doesn't work. Like, it's like they can't coexist. If one person has a good game, the other one doesn't. I don't know. I love the matchup for Parker here. I just don't trust the minutes, and if she's not playing well, they will go to someone else. Aerial Powers, 5,800. One of the safer value plays on the slate. She's going to play mid to high teens minutes with the potential to maybe see over 20 minutes that she played in a few games. She's going to chunk it. She is not afraid to shoot the ball when she's out there. She'll get you a couple peripheral stats. So perfectly fine playing her at 5,800 as the last piece in. Absolutely zero interest in Haley Jones. Just doesn't do anything with the minutes that she gets. Crystal Dangerfield, minutes have been up. I have no issues playing her. She was active shooting the ball. All 4 of her 3-point shot attempts were great looks. None of them went down, but at 4K, you're just looking for minutes. I've mentioned this all season. You're looking for minutes and usage. She took 6 shots this last game, made 2 of them, the 2 that were inside the 3-point line. She grabbed a few peripheral stats. If you get 12 points out of her at 4K, you are absolutely giddy. Naz Hillman, I don't even want to talk about. I played her. She come in the 4th quarter. Let's look at this, just so people don't think I'm BSing. Naz Hillman entered in the 4th quarter here. 4.5 to go and exited with 3:17 to go. She entered for 1 minute in the 4th quarter and did not play the last 3 minutes in the blowout, which would have given her 15 minutes. She probably still wouldn't have got there. But it did tilt me up a little bit that she didn't get those extra additional minutes. But it is what it is. She's going to play mid-teens minutes. Needs to hit her shots. She shot 1 of 4, only put up 2 real-life points. And that's what hurt her. So if she comes in and plays well, she may get extended a couple extra minutes. But I don't think you have to go her here on this slate. I would rather just play Dangerfield. She's a bit cheaper. She's playing more minutes because Haley Jones is just bad. And they don't really have any other guards that they want to play, especially at point guard. Nia Coffey had a great game. 13 minutes, 21 fantasy points. I'm not expecting that again. But if you do, 3,800, she's fine. She can see mid-teens minutes if she plays well. She can also see 1 rotation and be done as well. So a lot of these value plays, it's just hold your nose and hope. No interest in Kubaj or me here. On the Indiana side, Caitlin Clark-Price is coming down drastically. She's below 10K. This is the spot where you want to take advantage of Caitlin Clark. We know her upside. She's had 50 in numerous games. There's 2 games over 50, 1 game at 47, 1 game at 41. If the peripherals are there, we know the scoring upside that she has. I expect this game to be close. Atlanta does not play defense very well. We just saw Washington absolutely murder them from threes. Caitlin Clark, fantastic tournament play. I will have shares of her, absolutely. Leah Boston, 8,900. She had a great game in the blowout when they were getting absolutely deep fried against Connecticut. So she's fine. She looked better when Nalissa Smith is off the floor and Caitlin Clark is sometimes off the floor. I don't mind her for tournaments. She has upside. She just has a really, really low floor. I mean, she's going to play around 32 to 34 minutes and has upside, but this is her floor, 17, 23. You just have to know what you're getting into. The matchup is good, so there is that. Nalissa Smith, 8,200, more upside than Aaliyah Boston, but a lower floor. She's one of the first ones that they will pull if there's a blowout. 19 minutes, shot 1 of 6. She's just extremely, extremely tilting to roster because she is very lazy. She has so much talent, and she just wastes it. Like, there's nights where she just refuses to play defense, and in those instances, I don't disagree with Christy Sides. You should pull her. She don't deserve to be out there if she's not going to match the effort of the other girls on the team. But big upside with Nalissa. I mean, she's shown 40-point plus upside numerous times. She should play low 30s minutes, assuming she actually cares. Kelsey Mitchell, matchup is fine, 6,900. If the shots are there and they're falling, she's a good tournament play. If they're not, she will absolutely kill you. Only 6,900, so fair price for her. Wallace, I can't get to. She's going to play decent minutes. So if you're a minutes person and you buy into the minutes in a competitive game, I would expect her to play mid-20s with potential to play into the 30s if she plays well. You never know what Christy Sides is going to do. The Fever are a team it's just such a headache to roster anyone besides the top 3 because you pretty much know those 3. That's where the usage is going to go. Those 3 are going to dominate it. If Nalissa plays well, she's going to stay out there. So really hard to play Wallace, Wheeler, Samuelson. Hull played decent minutes before the blowout after just barely playing before. You just never know. Grace was playing a few games, then really didn't. It's just a crapshoot. Both of them were coming off of a DNP. Celeste Taylor, just not someone I'm playing right now, just not getting enough minutes. Saxton is not getting any minutes, so definitely don't play her as a punt. Moving on to the next game, Seattle at Dallas. On the Seattle side, I mean, we know who we want with Seattle. It's the top four. They control all the usage. Joe Lloyd putting up massive shots every game. I mean, close to 20 every game. She shot decent against the Sparks. 1 of 6 from 3. She's not shot the ball well from 3 the past 2 games. But she has peripheral upside, and she has a massive ceiling scoring the ball. If she shoots 50, 60 plus percent and has a good three-point shooting game, she's got 50 plus in her. This matchup should be fun. It's a great matchup for her. I love her upside for tournaments. NECA 10-3. Have no issues with her. She's going to play around 30 minutes. She's really consistent. You know what you're getting out of her. She can pop for a 40 bomb really any night, and it would never surprise me. She's going to be consistent around the 30 to 36 fantasy point mark. So no issues playing her. Ezzy, just insane block and steal upside. I mean, just look at this. This is ridiculous. The amount of blocks she is getting. She's gotten at least 3 blocks in every game but 3. That is insanity. I always say with her, her upside lies in her scoring. If she scores double figures and has a good stock game, she's always a good rebounder. She can pop for a huge score. I love the price on her. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 9,400. She always likes playing against teams she used to play for. So I have interest in SDS always. She's been playing better of late. She had this one down game against Minnesota, but really safe. I mean, she's doing a little bit of everything, and she can put the ball in the basket. She's proven that, especially recently. So great tournament play. Really, everyone else down here, Vivian's gets the start. So if you think she's going to play 17, 18 minutes, you can play her at 4-6. Just hope she hits a couple threes, gets you a couple peripheral stats, and doesn't kill you. Horston played the most of the 3, played 23 minutes. She played well, but you just never know how many minutes she's going to get. She's hard to trust there. Whitcomb played well. She was another one that, like, they all just split that 5, like, they're as the 5th starter. They all just take turns splitting minutes. It's hard to trust really any of them. I would play Vivian's before I played the other 2 just because she's the cheapest. But then, I mean, Whitcomb's $100 more. She has more shooting and scoring upside. So maybe if you have the extra funds, you just play her. No interest in Russell or Holmes or anyone else down here, just not getting consistent run. On the Dallas side, Arike, 11-2. They finally priced her over 11K. They played a double overtime game, and this girl played every second of that game. She played all 50 minutes. That just goes to show if this game is close, she's going to play 40 minutes, and her upside is some of the best in the WNBA. 9 of 27 shooting. She just has an insane ceiling, and the floor is so safe because she's always going to be on the floor. Massive peripheral upside. She's been dishing the rock a lot lately. 7, 6, 7, 4, 10 assists the last 5 games. She's going to grab some rebounds. She can get you some steals, and we know the scoring is there. I mean, over 20 points in every game this season. Over 20 real-life points. So I love Arike at the top, but you can't play everyone, so you have to pick your spots. I love this game. This game might go overlooked because everyone's going to go to the Aces in Phoenix. I pretty much like every game here on this slate, but this game is probably my favorite just because both rosters run such a condensed usage rotation on like their main usage players. Seattle's the big 4. Dallas, they just run their starters into the ground. I mean, you look at Billings. She played 47 of a possible 50 minutes. She didn't have a good game, but she's out there for the entirety of the game. Have no issues playing her. Big T at 8,600. She played 36 of a possible 50 minutes. That's a big workload for for someone like her. I have no issues for her playing her for tournaments. 8,600 is a really good price for her. Maddie, 7,900, played 48 of a possible 50 minutes. I mean, they're just running their starters into the ground. This is the Coach Trammell that I'm used to. She just plays her starters a ton. She's found the 5 that she's comfortable with. I love all the starters for Dallas. They just play huge minutes. Maddie, 7,900. I'm expecting her to play close to 40 minutes. She has a lot of scoring upside. If she scores well, she's going to have a good fantasy game. You need her to grab some peripheral stats, though. This last game, 12 points, 3 rebounds. That was it, and it kind of killed her fantasy day. Uzan, I will say, 33 of a possible 50 minutes. Her minutes ticked down a bit. J.C. Sheldon played well when she was out there, so that's something to monitor. 6,700, though, for Uzan. You're going to get a bunch of minutes. She is in consideration for sure. Just on that, Kalani Brown, always in consideration if you think Big T gets in foul trouble or they just bench her because she's not hustling. Suarez, I can't play personally, only 5 minutes. The minutes just aren't there for her. J.C. Sheldon, I mentioned her. She saw 17 minutes off the bench, 14, almost 15 fantasy points. She can contribute everywhere. I think eventually she will take the starting job from Uzan, but she's going to have to earn it. I mean, Uzan has played pretty well for the consensus part of the entire season, but eventually I think the job will go to Sheldon. No real interest. You can't play Lou. She's just not getting enough run. Last game of the night, possibly the best game of the night. And there is a ton of news that we're just going to jump right in right now. Chelsea Gray is upgraded to questionable. I was not expecting that. I was in the Discord. I've been talking all day about how I'm just going to insta-slam Jackie Young into every one of my lineups. And if she's limited again, so what? She only played 22 minutes last time out. She did not have a good game, only took 8 shots. She's just been really passive, not being her normal aggressive self. But at 8,800, she's just incredibly too cheap in a premier matchup. But Gray, if Gray plays, it does throw a wrench into all these plans. Gray would be in play at 7,800. She would obviously be on a minutes limit. I would expect it to be around 20 to 22. Becky will not push her coming off her injury. And it may even be more along the lines of the 15 to 18 minutes. But they need her out there. This team is atrocious on defense. They can't stop a nosebleed. They need Chelsea Gray out there running the point. And maybe that will open up Kelsey Plum, because Plum has really not been very good this season. She's been extremely scoring dependent, and she's not even been her normal scoring self. Her efficiency is really down. Asia Wilson, I'm not going to spend much time talking about her. It's like beating a dead horse. She's incredible. Floor game last time out, 46 fantasy points. Her floor is 50, so you know what you're getting out of her. Tiffany Hayes, 7,400. If Chelsea Gray plays, I want absolutely nothing to do with Tiffany Hayes. She's going to be overpriced and not playable, in my opinion. If Gray misses, then Hayes obviously is in play in the mid-range. Clark, just can't trust her. She's just not been very good of late. Not taking very many shots, not pitching in the peripheral stats. She's fine. If you land on her and you need someone in that range, you know she's going to get her minutes. Stokes has been even worse. Not much of a scoring threat ever, but if she doesn't get you any rebounds, her floor is single digits. I think they should shake up the starting lineup and play Gustafson over Stokes. She at least has some offensive capabilities. She's a great post player. She can shoot the 3 ball. I don't know why they won't just give that a shot. I know Stokes out there for a defense. She's a lot better of a defender than Gus, but their defense is terrible anyway. And you need the offense because teams are starting to double Asia and just leave Stokes open because she can't do anything. Kate Martin, 4,900. Zero interest if Chelsea Gray is back. If Gray is out, you can play her. She's only going to play mid-teens minutes, though, so tamper your expectations. Gus, 3,900. Minutes ticked up this last time out. it ticked up. She played a little bit in late because the of technical blowout. I mean, they pulled the starters with a few minutes left, but she outplayed Kia Stokes. I'm sorry, she's outplayed her. I don't know. I would love to see them at least try starting her. I would love to see her out there with Asia. It would give them an added dynamic on offense. Colson Cannon, no interest in either of them. On the Phoenix side, this one's fun because this matchup, it doesn't get any better because the Aces are going to score, and they play at a super fast pace, so it makes it where Phoenix has to score. I mean, they've proven they've beat the Aces once this year. They come really close the first game of the season to beating them in Las Vegas. I love this matchup for Phoenix. Kalia Copper, 9,600. She played 44 of a possible 50 minutes against Dallas. The usage is there. She has big upside. Her peripheral upside is really, really capped with everyone healthy on the team, but she has a lot of scoring upside. I don't mind her for tournaments. BG all the way up to 9K. I love that she was on a minutes limit and played 39 of a possible 50 minutes. That's cool. If she, under normal circumstances, she's going to play around 30-ish minutes for a normal game with no overtime. So I would expect her to play around 30 minutes. 9K is a fair price for her. She can score. She's going to grab some boards. She has block upside. Perfectly fine playing her in tournaments. Natasha Cloud down to 8,500. Played 44 of a possible 50 minutes. Really high peripheral upside. Just need her to score. If she scores with the peripherals, she can easily pay off that price tag. I have interest either way. That price seems a bit too cheap. DT 8,400 is fine. She's always in play for tournaments just because she can shoot the lights out or she can kill you. But it's one or the other with her. She has a really high floor but a really low ceiling. It's a risk-reward play. No interest in Natasha Mack with BG off her minutes limit. Sophie is fine. She played 27 minutes of a possible 50 with the double overtime. She's okay. I still think she's a bit too overpriced with everyone back. Rebecca Allen, 5,600. I would rather just play her to Sophie. She's going to play more minutes. They do the same things. I mean, they're both going to grab a couple boards. They're both 3-and-D players. So I would lean Rebecca Allen for the discount. No interest in Sutton Dixon or Harrigan. Just not going to play enough minutes to warrant playing them. But that's going to do it for me, guys. If you enjoy the video, leave a like. Helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. And stop by. We'll be live before lock tomorrow, 30 minutes before tip. And I'll be answering questions and updating anything we get on the slate before I answer any questions. But we'll see you for the next one.